Okay, so I've been asked by commenters, viewers several times, um, hey, how come I can't put two 2280s in my G4 and also have something in the caddy? Um, why won't that work? And I even have a video where I'm showing how you can put in a 2230 and you have to use special screws in both places, etc. Um, but I want to go a little more into depth to look at possible solutions. So what I have right now, this is a 2230 that's in a extender. So that's just sort of taking the place of the one of the 2280s. And then this is the more critical one. I wanted to make sure that you saw what happens. So this is the caddy. And if we flip it over, we see that there's not a whole lot of space, or I should say it doesn't go inward. This is where the fan for the 65 watt would go. But it doesn't, there's not a lot of give there. In contrast, this is a G3, and if you flip it over, there's actually kind of a nice opening, and it makes it handy so that you can, by taking off these screws, you can get into the look at some of the innards there. I did try. I said, well, what if I put a G3 guy in here? The problem with that is that the G3 has an extra, for an extra screw right here, and that ends up bumping up against the lithium battery and a little bit of this other 2280. So that's not a solution. I tried the G2, but the problem with that is so big, and the way it's designed, it won't even go into these holes over here. It kind of overlaps. So that wasn't a choice, even though that would have been a good one. The other problem with the G2 is that it doesn't have a place to screw in the SATA cable. It would just kind of just be laying there. So that wasn't an option. So let me show you again what it looks like when I if I lay this guy in here, get this guy out of the way. All right. Try to get it. See, it won't even, there's like these little latch here, not really a latch, but a place that normally it would go under when it's connected, when it's got the free space. But these holes aren't even going in because it won't slide all the way. And that basically is because when they designed this is pretty high here. And so consequently, it's butting up against the bottom here. So what some folks have done, I wouldn't recommend it myself, just because I like to go with the standard stuff that I can do with the thing. But some, I believe, have taken snipping tools and other kinds of things, Dremels, and try to cut into here to open it up. I'll let you do your own research on that one. My trepidation with anything like that is that then if you change your mind and now I don't want to put the 2280 here, I want to do something else, now you've got kind of a cut up version. Now, granted, now this does come off, but that's still not going to really help you. I believe that comes off in order to fit the fan for the 65 watt. So that doesn't help you there because, and that would seem like that would be a natural way to go. You could conceivably hook up your SATA drive like this. I just noticed all the stuff all over the thing here. Okay. You could, but that's pretty cheesy just to kind of lay it there. Particularly, I mean, yeah, if you're just going to leave it, but I like to mount mine sometimes, almost always on the side like this, and then it's going to be dangling. Could bump into something. There could be heat issues. I wouldn't recommend that. One suggestion was that you could keep it like this and then try to come up with a way in which you would tape it to the underside of this. So if you can imagine, this part is connected up on here, but again, I don't know how you're going to do that to slide it in because yeah, no, that's probably not a great idea either, because you're not going to have a whole. Then how do you get it off? I mean, let's see. If I were to have something like this and I lay it on, yeah, I don't. No. Yeah, that I don't think I'd go with that idea. The one that I suggested in my, oh, see, already SATA cable came off. We'll fix that later. What I was suggesting was to take this out and put in a 2230, because it's just small enough, and it also angles down so that it doesn't bump up against. So if I stick this in here, you do have to do a little looking through your stuff to find a screw that will fit in here. This is kind of a weird one. Okay, so now I've got my 2230. Now when I come, I can lay it in there, and I'm able to get it to fit. So I haven't had to cut up anything. I can still have my normal SATA in its normal place. Everything's going to screw down, and I've got those both working. So this same trick I have working on my G5, and actually on that one I've got two 2230s. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but if you really want to have all three drives, then you're going to run into that. But if you now, of course, if you had 2230, and then you did the little trick with the what is that? A Wi-Fi hard drive, that would give you three. Of course, it's angled this way, and that has its own problems. You can look at my video on that where it's kind of tilted. You might try playing around with the unit to try to get a hole in there that can actually screw into this guy to hold it down. And so then at least you'd have your three drives. If this ever pops out on you, my hands may have been in the way there. Let's see. So if I do the reverse, I pull up on both sides. That releases it. Now I thread it through. Push down on both sides. Make sure it's a good connection, and there I'm set.